All right. Good evening, everyone. We're back again here with Final Fantasy XI. We're picking up in the Promethea Chapter 6 missions today. We're gonna see how far we can get through that today. Hopefully the majority of the way. But first there's a few things we're gonna do. First off, I did spend a little bit of time grinding between sessions here. I think I played for like 2 hours. So what that allowed me to do was get to level 75. I managed to upgrade my items again, so we are almost at the max size of the gobby bag here. We need one more upgrade that's gonna be very expensive, but once we've got that, we are pretty much done with our big guild things here. I think that's gonna be probably around 300,000 gil or something like that for that, so we're gonna need to wait a little bit for that, but that's fine. I have also picked up most of the maps that aren't 30,000 gil or more, so we're getting closer to the point where we are no longer strapped for cash as much. That said, before we do anything else here, and let's see if we get the cutscene first just by moving in here, or if we can actually go through. But we're gonna have a chat with the Moogle out here next to Maat, because I believe at this point, we're getting the cutscene. Let's do that first then. Lafayette, what are you doing here? Have you found some means to stop the Worm King Bahamut? The battle will begin soon. An airship carrying a group of adventurers was downed in an attack by the worms. We have completed preparations on the warships, and nothing remains to be done. Only, I don't know if this is good or bad news for you, too, but the commander of the Junon Armada, Lady Ashantaral, is nowhere to be found. Lord Nagmalada has also disappeared without so much as an escort. Damn it! This wouldn't be your doing, would it? Is this part of your doing? Of course not. My apologies. You must forgive my wild accusations. No matter how much one despises senseless bloodshed, there are few who can stand by while their home is burned to the ground. And so, if it means saving Juno from the worms, I have no choice but to cooperate with this race of ancients. Captain Wolfgang, the criminals who escaped the warship 03 has been identified. It appears to be the work of those three Tarutaru. We have a witness who overheard them talking about heading to a place they refer to as the Fated Land. They took a warship. Is it possible they know where our missing officials have disappeared to? And where is this Fated Land they spoke of? Speed up and find the answers. Right. So, we got the cutscene there. We're gonna do some more steps here for this part of the mission, but before we do that, again, let's go ahead and speak to our Moogle friend over here. And see if we can unlock the merit points system here. So, the Nomad Moogle. I'm a traveling Moogle, always on the road, in search of secrets of true strength, Kupo. And this time I think I might have found one. That's why I'm visiting Matt, to see what he thinks, Kupo. I've discovered a way to increase the potential of those who have reached their limits. However, I haven't found anyone to pass the method on to, Kupo. Hey, you look pretty tough. How would you like to be my guinea assistant? Let's do it. Excellent, Kupo. I shall now pass on to you the secrets of the Moogle merit management system. Use this legendary method to extend your limits. Watch as your strength soars beyond the stars, Kupo. Now, when the level of your main job has reached 75 or higher, a new button, Merit Points, will appear under the status in the main menu. Press this button to change experience accumulation modes as well as adjust skills and attributes. Just remember, you can only adjust your attributes while you're in your monk house or monk garden. Gnome and Moogle cast a strange spell on you. Well, if you ever need a refresher, you know where I'll be, Kippo. So, we now have the Limit Breaker key item. See if we have it here. There we go. You have been recognized by the Gnome and Moogles across Vanadil as having successfully broken your physical and mental limits. Very cool. So, if we have a look at the status menu here, we now have the, let's see here. This merit points system. It appears we haven't unlocked anything yet because we haven't actually gotten any merit points. I wonder. You're supposed to be able to manually swap between merit points and. Oh no, there we go. It just took a time to update. So if we enter the merits here, we can switch modes between experience points and merit point accumulation. So we currently are getting experience points. If we reach the cap, we're gonna get limit points, which are exchanged for merit points. But we can also manually set them here. So we are now gathering limit points. So what does this mean? We'll be getting these points that we'll be able to spend on the different categories of things here. So we can add to our attributes, we can add to our HP/MP, we can add to combat skills, and we have particular subsets of things that we can add here. So we can spend a total of 10 points over these things in group 1 here, and a total of 10 points over the things in group 2, for example. So, and if we look at the HP/MP, we can adjust your maximum HP and maximum merit points. That said, we'll have more look of that system when we have some points to spend. Let's speak to the Moogle again. Been working hard or harder working, Kippo? Remember that by pressing the merit points button in the status menu, you can check your merit point totals. Change experience accumulation modes, and adjust skills and attributes. Oh ho, Kippo! Or perhaps you're looking to transcend your limits, because that could also be arranged. We'll ask about exceeding our limits. I had a feeling that you'd say that, Kippo. Well, Matt, how about it? We stand at the cusp of a new era. It's the goddess-given duty of an old warrior like me to prepare the younger generation to follow in my footsteps. And who better than a young man who's met every challenge sent his way? You can say that again, my friend. No doubt you've heard of the great Mog tablets, those stone slabs engraved with the timeless wisdom of King Cupfried the Great that has been popping up periodically through the land. The tablets hold many secrets that we Moogles have yet to unravel, Kippo. Why are our rings purple? Why are our noses red? How can we better assist our adventuring friends? Why, I was just having a discussion with a friend of mine from the Magian Mooglehood on the very subject. That's when it hit me on the head like a herd of hectares. What if the ancient Moogle arts could be used to augment not only adventurers' possessions, but the adventurers themselves, Kippo? Using my knowledge of merit points, and drawing upon the Martian mastery of math here, I whipped up a method that just might work. What say you, adventurer? Care to be my test subject? Of course, nobody blame you for not trusting the little devil. I'm not even sure I do. Sorry, that's Matt saying that. It's an adventurer who would spurn greater strength, truly an adventurer. Come now, what have you got to lose, Kippo? Will we give it a go, Kippo? Will I ever? Marvelous, magnificent. First, I'll need you to bring me 5 kindred seals. They're needed to channel the ancient Mughal magic, you see. You'll also have to accumulate 3 merit points to provide the necessary energy to trigger the reaction. I'll be sitting this one out, I fear. I may have mastered the martial arts, but I know better than to get mixed up with Mughal mumbo-jumbo. Now go get him. Well, if you ever need a refresher, you know where I'll be, Kippo. So, I believe we have quite a few of the actual... let's have a look at the Marsec here. Kindred seals here. Indeed, we have 21 kindred seals, 15 kindred quests, just from getting any drops along the way here, so we're gonna be good on that. But we need to get more points through the accumulation here. So we're gonna need to wait to actually break our level limit there and get to level 80. Let's have a chat with Permoseal here and see what he knows about the whole warship thing. One of the Armada's warships is missing. With all this tightened security, how could anyone have pulled off a feat as grand as stealing an airship? No, nothing more about that, then. Okay. Anyway, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna travel to the Misro coast and look at the gates for one of the areas here. Do we actually have a let's see here. Venetian Archipelago, Misro Coast is on the way up to the north. Yeah, that's not where we're looking to go right now. So our best bet is probably going to be to head to the safe hold, and then we'll head out from there. There we go. Home point number 1 is the entrance. Should do it. Now then, let's have a look. See if we can head out. This is the right one. I always get to turn around here. Yeah, it is. We're looking for the gate at I-11, so I believe this should be the best way to get there. Let's go ahead and mount up. It's a crab sort of day, I think. Here we go. Yeah, I-11 should be the one down here. We'll head over there and then we'll call our friends before we interact with the gate. But what should happen is that we should be spawning a couple of notorious monsters that we'll need to fight, as I understand it. Here we go. Let's dismount, yes. Let's call our trusts. There we go. Now, let's see about interacting here. Yeah. These actually hit decently hard, but I think we'll hit them harder back here. There we go. It's a bit of an awkward position to fight from, but get it done. Oh, hey. That's one of them down. Pick out the next one. See where we're at for the sneak attack, 12 seconds or so. That actually happened to kill before we were able to get any use of it. Let's go ahead and use the shark bite anyway here then. There we are. So we interact with the gate again. See if we get the cutscene. Lafayette, you did well to find this place. I assume you were led here by the memories of the Mother Crystal. Even if the crystal line is cut, as long as the people exist, and as long as there is life on Vanadil, the memories of the Mother Crystal will endure. There is nothing anyone can do to change that. We were all born from the light of the crystal, and we return to that luminescence when we die. People are also born from the darkness and return to the darkness. The opposites of light and dark both are held within you. You are born from the light that illuminates all, and then slowly devoured by the emptiness that desires only oblivion. This is the cycle begun by the goddess of dawn, a cycle created for the sake of the twilight god Promethea. Lafayette, how can you speak to my soul? Selvius, what have you done to Lafayette? Now is not the time to answer such questions, is it? After the passing of 10,000 years, it is time for us to discover why our paths have crossed again. Selvius, the pact you left with the terrestrial avatars has been honored by the children of Vanadil. The coming of the Keeper of the Apocalypse has been prevented. However, Bahamut does not hold the pact to be complete. Is it true that unless the Keeper of the Apocalypse is freed from the cycle of the Mother Crystal, the pact cannot be considered fulfilled? You need not use common speech. The amulet, the testament of affinity, connects my soul to yours. Let us finally walk the same path that has brought us here over the span of 10,000 years, for Vanadil, and for the future. He has eluded me yet again. What was your plan, Chantal? To use the Testament of Affinity to link your souls? You mean to have your soul taken over just as Preach did? No. Your plan was to make it appear as if your soul had been possessed. A way to protect yourself, perhaps. An excuse for letting Celsius escape. No feeble attempts of denial, just what I'd expect from a Silart. But I have learned the truth from the Mud Crystal. You were born a Kulu, as was I. The Chamber of Eventide, created by the Dawn Maiden eventual to heal the Kulu people, to restore the Whisperers to their souls. I should have realized when Bahamut mentioned that name. Am I correct in assuming that the Silart interfered in the investigation of Altair to hide the fact of its completion? Was my Kulu talent in negotiation so very valuable to you? The celestial city of Altair was destroyed along with the Chamber of Eventide 10,000 years ago. No matter how much I explain, you will not believe me, but the Silart still hold to this truth. When Altair was enfolded in the energy of the crystal, the power of the terrestrial avatars was absorbed by the city. That event caused an anomaly in space and time, bringing them from the ancient past to the present day. Or so the theory goes. As a Kulu, I do not presume to speak for the beliefs of the Silart, but I have retrieved some fascinating insights from Diabolos. He claims that the celestial capital exists even now, beyond the fifth crystal, and that the Silart people living in the city are alive and well. It cannot be. This information must be verified. I will travel beyond the distortion in space and time and see this place for myself. And then I will use the Chamber of Eventide to gain immortality, as you have. The whisper of your soul will be mine again. Nagmalada, your longing to become one of the Silart led to your betrayal of the Kulu. But you must not go to the capital. Celsius has warned me. Altair is no longer the homeland that we once knew. It has become a tainted place, a forbidden place. Forbidden? Use this to see into the soul of Celsius. He will explain everything to you. So I can let that traitor take control of my mind? For the moment, I will be satisfied with watching you die. Will you say that you were killed by Celsius, shall we? Wait, if you spare me, I will give you anything you want. You'll give me anything. You certainly were born of Kulu stock. Show me how far you have fallen. I am not the one who has fallen. And sold. To the young territory lady. Home delivery guaranteed. I truly appreciate your help. A most reliable trio indeed. I doubt Nagmalada will be able to stay in June after this. You have shown commendable judgment in this matter. 'Tweren't nothing. However, with Celsius gone, the celestial capital that Celsius showed me, could it be? That doesn't seem good. I think I understand. The battle with the worms is about to begin. A meaningless war will soon be set in motion. There is no other choice but to fight. Great Goddess Altana, bless us with the victory we need. Alright, there we are. So, I believe that's the end of the mission. Let's have a look here. Eshantarl has returned to the Grand Duke Palace and is preparing the Juno Armada for its attack on Bahamut. At the same time, Priest and Ulmia have finally solved the mystery that has been haunting them for the past 20 years. Well done. I think we're heading back to Juno again. Let's make sure we equip the warp ring. Use that to head home. I think that's going to be the fastest way still here. Here we are. Right. Back to Juno. On point 1, I believe, is the one outside the mansion here. Right, here we are. So now cutscene to start, so let's head over to Vermosiel here. I think he's been our most reliable source of new information. Yeah, looks like it. You adventurers are quick to hear the news. Lady Eshantar has returned to us. The Junoan Armada has been authorized to begin an assault on the worms. We are conducting a final flight inspections on all vessels. Please, keep out of the way and allow the engineers to do their jobs. What a racket! Those Tarutari were punished for the crimes of stealing a warship and flying out of Juno. They claimed they were just following orders, but Lord Nagmolada is also awaiting disciplinary action to be decided by the Archduke. No matter your position, if you break the law... Isn't that lady a friend of yours? Oh, you three. Whatever is the matter? Come now, no more tears. Surely things are not that bad. We're done for. Our necks are on the chopping block. We've got to get out of here. Whatever for? There are rumors all over town about that brave Tarutari who saved an important official. Is there some other terrible failure that you are regretting? No, we haven't done anything right. Sorry, that's the opposite of what they're saying. No, we've done everything right. We used the right blend of deceit and betrayal, honey and vinegar. We bribed the townsfolk and avoided the authorities. We groomed ourselves into the perfect candidates to become bureaucrats of the future. They have to run off because I showed up. Preach. What the hell is wrong with you? If you keep this up, I'm gonna start rethinking my plan to put you in charge of Tamnasia. Get yourselves together or I'm gonna kick you out into the next water stay. You have a responsibility to look out for Ulmia and everyone else in the Marquisate. What? Sorry to fly off without an explanation, Ulmia. And you, Lafayette, thanks for worrying about me. There's not much time, but I'll tell you what I know. Get yourselves to the audience chamber. Preach. To the audience chamber we go. I have a feeling that another turn is coming up in the story here. Let's see. Interact with the door. That's the trick. Hello, William. You've been through quite an ordeal. Cardinal Mildarian. What is going on? I'm sorry, Ulmia. We don't have the time for lengthy explanations. However, there is one thing I must tell you. My true name is Eshantarl. 10,000 years ago, I was born in Altair, the city that enfolds the fifth mother crystal. Nagmalada and the other members of the Armaphron society that now govern, are also of an ancient race of people, a race recently awoken from a centuries-long sleep. But I am different from the others. Through an unusual twist of fate, I was granted immortality. I pledged to use this unending life to bring into fruition the pact made between Celtius and the terrestrial avatars. After the passing of 10,000 years, a child of destiny would be born in the fated land, the keeper of the apocalypse, the one I have sworn to destroy. I have spent many years preparing for the coming of the keeper. It has been an incredibly long journey. I have traveled to the far reaches of Anadil in search of lost secrets. I have found solace and encouragement in the many encounters I have had along the way. But then, when I came to a certain place, I was warned. Destroying the Keeper of the Apocalypse will merely set the darkness free to reincarnate in another body. To break this cycle, the darkness itself must be obliterated. It must be erased from the place where all life originates and where all life eventually returns, the Mother Crystal. To fully eradicate the darkness, the Keeper of the Apocalypse must be destroyed not in the form of a human, but in the form of a god. That is why I conceived a plan to use the Lay of the Immortals to resurrect Promethea. Resurrection and destruction. But that plan eventually failed. At the baptismal ceremony, At that time, I was having my strings pulled by the emptiness inside me. I lived in the Tamnesian Cathedral since the time of my earliest memories, and believed that the gates of paradise must be opened. But as my bad luck would have it, the emptiness inside me reacted to the baptismal vessel and was sealed within this magicite. My world was tipped upside down. I was suddenly able to read people's thoughts and, just like Cardinal Mildarian, I never aged another day. So that is what happened. You were the Keeper of the Apocalypse. But things are different now. You are no longer the one, are you? Are you saying that nothing has changed? What has happened? What is to happen to Preach? Judging by the actions of Bahamut, the Keeper is still among us. But over the last 20 years I have watched over the lands of Anadil. I have seen no other possible incarnations. Bahamut wishes to see me smashed to bits in the form of the Twilight God. It was Diabolus that let me in on my destiny as the Keeper of the Apocalypse. It is my fate to be destroyed along with this magicite and set adrift from the cycle of the Mother Crystal. No, this is too horrible. Listen to me, Elmia. We've come pretty far in this quest. I've already heard 4 of the verses needed to resurrect the Twilight God. Once we have the last verse, we can finally stand before Bahamut. Please, Prish, do you hear what you're saying? How can I let you offer your very existence to Prometheia? There must be another way. Calm yourself, Umia. Prish will not be coming with us. The last verse of the Memoria de la Chthona no longer exists, and there is no weapon left to battle the Twilight God. Pitting the full force of Juno against the worms is our only recourse. There is no other way to save the children of Altana from extinction. But Miss Mildarian, what about me? Lady Eshontarl, the Junoan armada is prepared for battle. I must go, beyond the sea of endless clouds. Cardinal Mildarian. Prish, Ulmia, it's only a matter of time until Juno becomes a war zone. I will prepare an airship for your return to Thamnasia. Protect that which is most dear to you. Damn it! There's no way in hell it's ending this way. It's time to put it all on the line. Prish. Lafayette, Ulmia, I know you guys can do it. You're strong enough to beat the hell out of me when I become Prometheia. Listen, there's someone in Selbina who knows the 5th verse. Her memory is a little shoddy though. Find the 5th verse. I need you to do this, you hear me? I cannot. Prish, wait. Ulmia, I have heard the entire story. Laurence. This must be the guidance of Altana. The girl with a shoddy memory in Selbina is well known to me. I am also happen to possess the means to revive her past. Let us be on our way. To Selbina we go then. There we go. What's region is that in? It should be in Vilkheim, I think. Yeah. Go. It's probably a good thing we're following along with the idea, so we don't need to speak to every NPC in town. But I believe we're looking for someone in the Weaver's Guild. So that should be in here. Let's see here. I believe we're looking to speak to Matilda here. Hello, how can I help you? Your name wouldn't be Emmeline by any chance? My name is Ulmia. We were in the choir together. Do you remember? I'm sorry, I don't remember much about my childhood. But I'm sure you must have been mistaken. My name is Matilda. I work here at the Weaver's Guild. Yes, you're right. I must be mistaken. Please, accept my apologies. You so resemble the girl that I used to sing with in the choir with me. It's just... You don't happen to have a younger brother, do you? A younger brother? Why, yes, I do have a younger brother, only we were separated in the war. But I still believe he's out there, somewhere. I do hope he is happy. I'm sorry to have brought up this painful subject. I will be on my way. I have one last request for you. There's a certain song that you might know. Will you sing it for us? A song? I'm sure you have the song locked somewhere in your heart. Please, try to remember. The Tavnasian Cathedral, Cardinal Mildarin. A song known as the Lay of the Immortals. The 5th verse. And so the legend ends. Began. Crystal. Was that some kind of spell? The Mimir Mirror is a device known by any self-respecting rogue. It was finally returned to me. Ulmia, are you able to sing the verse you just heard? But You do have a penchant for expecting the worst, dear Ulmia. There may not be a need for that melody at all. Why would that be? Once Lord Bahamut sees precious magicite, it may be enough to convince him. And we should not want to lose the star of Tavnasia. What do you mean? There's something I would like to ask Preach. Ulmia, let us meet with her in Juno. Lafayette, please go ahead to Bastok. Right, to Bastok we go then. Warps back. Up. Right. Let's go ahead and travel to another home point in the Metalworks. And we'll have a chat with Sid. Right, let's go ahead and in here. So we'll be coming up on a boss fight here in the next mission set. And the guide suggests some preparation work here, but I'm not sure if we are over leveled compared to where we need to be, so we may not need to worry as much about it. We'll see, but if we fail, we fail. That's my philosophy for now. Lafayette, where have you been? I heard about what happened, but I still can't believe it. Learning Preach was really a keeper of the apocalypse knocked me out of my chair. But finding out that the Genoan official at Chantal is actually Cardinal Mildorian, and that she's been alive for the past 10,000 years, that was like having an anvil dropped on my head. Lafayette, I want to hear what happened to you too. Call in all the others. So that's what happened. To fulfill the pact that Bahamut and Selkius made over 10,000 years ago, Mildorian has been attempting to revive the divine Prometheia. And the magicite embedded in Preach's bosom was only a sealed, crystallized form of her inner emptiness. We sin hunters have committed a grave sin ourselves in not being able to stay calm and focused in the presence of the magicite. Not a single complaint, not a single cry for help. All that time carrying a terrible burden, alone. And what about Ulmia? She has known Preach since she was a child. She has watched over her silently struggle. These new truths must be as painful for her as they are for Preach. I could not wish for such a terrible fate upon even an enemy. What are we to do now? Phoenix has told me that we are not to provoke Bahamut any further. However, the biggest threat to mankind is the Worm King's aerial magic. If we could defeat him, it would better our chances of victory against the Worm armies. And so we are left with three choices. We can let destiny run its course and wait for Bahamut and his minions to destroy us. We can use my airship to join the Juno Armada and fight the Worm King. Or we can recite the 5th verse of the Memoria de la Stona and call the Twilight God down in the breach. Twilight God, he cursed mankind, made us fight. If we defeat him, the curse will be broken. But do we have the power? Preach said that Lafayette had that power, and we have Phoenix on our side, but I am not sure that is enough. Diabolos, ruler of the dreams, warned us not that no single child of Vanadil could vanquish the Keeper of the Apocalypse, and still my blade remained silent. We are about to walk down a very dangerous path, but I think that it would be wise to wait until Preach returns before we take any action. Tenzin, Miss Sinhunters, Lafayette. Hurry up to Tavnesia and wait for Preach. When she arrives, contact me and I will fly to the archipelago in my airship. Tavnesia? But why would you travel there? Help from Gilgamesh should be arriving at Safehold shortly. Let's just say the parts they'll be transporting are very sensitive. I'll see you all at the Sea Lion's Den. So, that should be another mission. One to be feared. The 5th verse of the Memoria de la Stona has been discovered. Now, with the help of Sid, you must fly to the Sea of Clouds and face Bahamut for what may be the final time. If it tells me it won't, but let's have a look. So, we're gonna go to the Sea Lion's Den. I believe that's on point number 2 in the Safehold. We'll have a look. And again, it's very possible that we are not prepared for this fight that's coming up. But hopefully we might be. Let's go ahead and travel to another home point. Let's see here. Amnesia. Stay pulled. Point number 2. Yes, please. Right. Let's see how this goes. I believe this is a multi-stage fight as well. So we'll see if we're able to finish in the time allotted here, but... Sea Lions then. Master Sid, we have been waiting for your arrival. I brought Ulmia and Laurence with me, but I'm sorry to say Preach couldn't make it. There's been a bit of a problem. A problem? What do you mean? Ulmia, would you be so kind as to fill in Tenson on the details? I have some business with the Gilgavish's little helpers. We couldn't find Preach. I fear that she's hiding somewhere on one of the Armada's warships. That cannot be possible. Why did Lady Preach not wait for you to return? She's not planning to attack the Worm King, is she? I think Preach knows that we would follow her. Preach can read the hearts of others. She knows what we feel and what we think. She knows what I feel. But why does she continue on if she knows that her decisions will only hurt me? Why does believing hurt so? Even when two hearts are connected, there are times when pain can't be avoided. When the world is overwhelmed with sadness, the only way to escape the pain is to change the world. Perhaps you are right, Javos. Perhaps the only option left to mankind is to change Vanadil. For the past 10,000 years, Vanadil has grown and evolved to become what it is today. A world bound by the chains of an evil deity. Preach set out on her own in an attempt to change the world. Our world. Hey, are you guys ready? I've been finished loading up my baby with the secret weapons and it's time we moved out. There's no time to lose. I'm going to hitch a ride back to Bastok and Gilgamesh's boat and let the President in on what's going on. Even if you are successful in stopping Bahamut, there's no knowing what his worm army will do. The Republic has to be prepared for the worst. Sid, thank you so very much for all that you've done. You know, if I were only a few years younger, I'd be up there with you guys. But my place is back in Bastok. Gilgamesh made sure I didn't forget that. And don't you forget that you're going up there to save your nations. No, to save all of Vanadil. Your lives will be on the line, but I know you'll be alright. As long as you're riding my CIT, nothing can go wrong. Ha ha ha. Master Sid, I'll set you allow me to fly her. She's all yours. Now, get out of here, Warriors of the Crystal. Yes, let us be off. Bahamut and Preacher are awaiting your arrival. Alright, so again, we're probably coming up to a fight we may not be ready for here, but that's fine. Just let me have a real quick look here. Right. We're gonna go in, we're gonna get a cutscene, and hopefully that won't eat up too much of our timer. So, let's see. So, we're heading out. Do you think there's any chance to catch up with Lady Preach? According to Aldo, the Juno Armada departed the duchy after splitting into 2 units. The main unit will enter Cape Riverne directly by air and attempt to draw the worms from the floating islands. At the same time, the remaining unit will attempt to approach Bahamut from the opposite direction. I assume that Preach would be with the latter. However, that unit cannot begin its operations until the main unit has successfully drawn the attention of the other worms. Engineer Sid said the same thing. This means we still have time. Look who I found hiding below the decks. Get your hands off me, you pointed ear brute. Let us go here, or you'll all be doomed. Yeah, we're your secret weapon. Secret weapon? You wouldn't happen to be the exact same secret weapon that Sid received from Gilgamesh, would you? We have given up the fame and glory of being high-class Genoan officers, and we decided to become high-class pirates. The highest of the high and classiest of the class, yes sirree. We will be making contact with the Armada shortly. It may be to our advantage to have someone on board who can communicate with them. What the? I can see them, the Juno Armada. Warning shots. That scary Elbon went to communicate the communications room. Shouldn't we go to the communications room? I say we go to the communications room. We should go as well, Lafayette. We must try to convince them that we are here to help. Right. I guess we're interacting here again. To the battlefield, one to be feared. Do I want to buff up anything before? Do I have any food? Not really, I don't think. It's fine. We'll give it a go, build out, and then we'll come back with if we think we needed to. Let's jump in. Right, where are we going? Airship door. I want to move to the Armada warship. Not sure if we are ready or not. Let's call our trusts in just in case. I'm not sure if they are all in the same instance here, if we'll keep them as we port between the areas. Let's give it a go. Lafayette, the attack seems to have subsided. Something is going on over there. Something is wrong. What if they discover where Breach is hiding? Laurence is moving the ship into position so we can board their vessel. Let us hurry below decks. So again, this is going to be a fight in 3 steps, as I understand it. Breach, if you can hear me, give me a sign. We've come to help. We mean you no harm. We're simply trying to find our companion. You're wasting your breath, samurai man. Yeah, they can't hear you. They're just puppets made by those crazy scientists in Juno. Puppets? Yeah, here we are. Guess we're heading off to fight. Come on. Let me attack. Let me attack. Okay, there we go. Again, please. Let's kill you immediately. On the next one. Right. Last one. Let's see if we can take it out quickly here. Yeah. Time remaining 40 minutes, 44 seconds. We are all back to full health, so that should be fine. Move to the next warship. Breach, are you okay? Can you hear us? Respond! And if you can't hear us, respond! Hey, robot. Could she be inside that thing? It's dinner. Well, that would explain why she couldn't hear us. I gave Jabba's entirely wrong voice there, but that's fine. Oh, hey, Omega. Fun times. We've got no bad memories of that at all. From... Oh, hey. Oh, no, don't. Don't paralyze me, please. Yeah, yeah. Right. Probably should go ahead and Utsusemi here. Pick up a spot behind. cast it just in case. So many debuffs down here. Isn't too bad at all. I think we're probably way over leveled for this as well, compared to what you're supposed to do it at. Let's give it a go here. Ah, that's that one down. Valeniral actually came close to dying there though. Right. SR. Okay, there we are. They're fully healed again. Let's head over to the next airship. Yes, please. What's going on? If we cannot continue like this, both sides will end up exhausted without having made any progress. Look. I will attempt to pull our ship up alongside theirs. Hold on. Oh boy. You dirty rat! Why don't you come down here and fight me like a man? The wonderful exhibition about to unfold will buy me more than enough time. My pet is still far from completion. However, when she is finished, she will be the most powerful creation Vanadil has ever seen. Though those created 10,000 years ago may still reside somewhere within the celestial capital of Altair. Zoom. Krish! Hey, you guys! Oh yeah, what's everybody doing over there? Ah! Not another distraction. Well, at least now I can test my pet in extreme battle mode. Ultima weapon. Show our friends what you can do. Ultima. There we are. Let's set me up. There we go. Break attack. Yes, there we go. Ultima read is nuclear waste. That seems like a bad thing. Luckily, Shantota is doing a lot of work here, I think. Okay, one more attack and then we'll see if we can. Sneak attack. Shark bite. There we go. That should be it, I think. Cool. Yeah. Zed, probably over leveled for this here. 10 minutes. Not a sweat broken. I guess I cannot expect too much from a prototype. What do you think you were trying to do, Nagmalada? You were relieved from your position within the Armorfern Society and banished from Juno. How dare you step over the boundaries of that amnesty you were granted and bring that creation aboard an armada vessel? Did you think that by performing this service we would take you back? Or was this cause of turmoil simply a desperate attempt to interfere with our plan? An attempt born from hate and despising? Or perhaps you came to ask Bahamut the way to Altair? Nagmalada, I understand why you seek the path of the celestial capital. We who have lost the whisper of the soul are forced to live alone, trapped within our own wretched solitude. However, that is our path to freedom. We are children born from one. Now our children and our children's children step out into the ever-expanding world. This is much like when the mother crystal split into 5 pieces, long, long ago. We are simply ready to leave the nest before the Silart. Then why did you choose to abandon your people and hide away in the Chamber of Eventide? Why do you join the Silart in blocking the path to Altair? That is, by entering that chamber, you succeeded in washing away the darkness of your soul. That is why I seek the capital, so I can remove the darkness from my soul, so I can be free. Ha! If you want to go to Altair so bad, then why don't you just go to Movolpolos? Reach. The boy Celsius has already asked the Moblins to open the gate to the capital. If you follow him, he'll lead you right through to the 5th crystal. I see. Whether it has been buried or submerged, there's no place the Moblins cannot find. And I was beginning to wonder when I was going to be able to see the boy once again. I have unfinished business with him. I've told you what you want to know. Now get out of here. And so it does. As much as I'd like to, it would be improper for me not to return the favor. The favor bestowed upon the Kulu over 10,000 years ago. Return the favor. Surprise attack. I see my song has reached the conqueror of the skies. I am Kulu. My strength comes from the protection of the terrestrial avatars. Without you, I am powerless. The Silart, those who have sworn revenge against Vanadil. To you I offer these traitors as sacrifice. You are nothing but a raving maniac, Nagmalada. You are far from being one of us. Your pitiful soul drowns in darkness. And that is why I must cleanse it. I will find Altair and use the Chamber of Eventide. It's all over. It's over easy. What are you talking about? This is where it gets interesting. Bahamut, conqueror of the skies, king of the worms. I am Preesh. I am the keeper of the apocalypse. Your pact with Celsius left me trapped for thousands of years. The Magicite. It is nothing but another form of the emptiness. It was born from the same place I was. We are one and the same. My friends and I have come to call forth and destroy the emptiness and its maker, Promethea. And we will do it right here, right now. We will fulfill the pact. Watch as we show you the children of the Dawn's true power. So that is what you meant, Deshantarl. There is no need for you to prove anything, young Elvan. You are not the Keeper. Not the Keeper, but Eshantarl, children of Altana, and Phoenix. I commend you for what you are attempting to do for the people of Vanadil, and that is why I will tell you this. The true Keeper of the Apocalypse lies in the celestial capital of Altair. Within that soul lies an immeasurable amount of darkness. For 10,000 years it has slept, but now it has awoken. In Altair? Who was it that restarted the crystal line? Remnants of the Silart, the children of Altana? It does not matter, for now the power within the final crystal, the crystal that holds Altair in balance, has begun to fade. It will not be long before the celestial capital has fallen to Vanadil. When this occurs, the Keeper of the Apocalypse will rise and envelop all life. And finally, the Twilight God Promethea will use his almighty power to begin his eternal reign. That is why I have come. To stop the seeds of man from being wiped from Vanadil. If there was nothing for the Keeper to envelop, then Promethea will not have the strength to enter our realm. Nothing to envelop? And so that is why you plan to attack. Damn! And you call yourself a guardian of Vanadil. Why didn't you tell us what you were going to do a long time ago? If you would have been honest with us, we could have been in Altair whipping that Keeper's butt last week. She is right, Lord Bahamut. Such intolerant behavior does not befit the Conqueror of the Skies. Why do you not believe in the power of the Children of the Dawn? Why must I believe in something that does not exist? You cannot defeat the Twilight God. You will not even be allowed to approach him. Sylphias proved that to us 10,000 years ago. Destruction is your destiny. You cannot escape what has already been decided. There's still a way. Bahamut, we need not fight, Promethea. If we can stop the Keeper of the Apocalypse. Sylphias told us this. That is why he has returned. He is here to stop Altair from falling back to this dimension. Impossible. Sylphias does not have the power to. I'm sick of all this talk. Doesn't anybody here think we can handle the situation? Lafayette, you tell him. You know we can kick his bloody butt all the way into next water stay. Do you have what it takes? You betcha. You. Damn you, Sylphias. I will not let you harm Vanadil and her children like you did once before. Whoa, I have a bad feeling about this. Lafayette, get out of the way. Lafayette, everyone, abandon ship. Phoenix. Will you return to the Mother Crystal along with so many other lives? I understand. Your sacrifice has brought us a sliver of time. Let me release you for your journey to the Mother Crystal. Open the path in preparation for him. So, that's chapter 6 of the Shades of Promethea storyline. We're out in the wilderness here again. Chapter 7, In the Light of the Crystal. Search their possessions. Let's see now. I don't know. Let's be the better man. You've always fallen victim to these three. It's about time you return the favor. The game won't let me not. Okay, let's see now. Man. You find a ducal guard string. Yeah. Yeah. Are we alive? Are we breathing? Ack! You! It's Lafayette, the one who angered Bahamut. Run! Flee! Exit stage left! Let's have a look at the ring here, I guess. Ducal Guards ring. A gold ring adorned with the lunar feldspar. The words Ducal Recall are engraved on the underside of the band. So I imagine that's going to bring us back to Juno, which might be useful as well. Actually, let's do that right now, because there's something I want to do there. First things first, though. Let's go ahead and look at the missions. Chains and bonds. You have escaped the Rock of Bahamut, but what of your companions? Could they have already been back within the safe hold? Indeed, we're gonna head back to the safe hold, but first, let's try out the ducal ring here. So we equip that. Go ahead and use it. It's gotta be another 20 seconds before we can. It's fine. There we are. I'm assuming it's gonna put us back into Relude Gardens, but we'll see here. Yeah, right in front of the manor as well here. We're looking for a NPC here that's gonna allow us to unlock a trust NPC. Assuming it's in here. Yes, should be this one, I believe. What manner of farce is this? An uncouth Tarutaru claiming to be an esteemed guest of Lady Ashantara is running amok, demanding the Trust Initiative scroll. Ah! There she is, that dastardly Tarutaru. Uh-oh. The scroll. To think she got her grubby hands on it. I cannot comprehend the depth of her audacity to steal from the Auroral Palace. I beseech you, adventurer, smash her like a pane of glass. Don't you just flop around there, help me! Ashantara said I could have it. There's no way I'd ever hit it big, so instead I decided to save the world with a scroll. I'm thinking of starting a troop called the Buxom Buddies, with me as the chest headliner. Of course, I can't do it alone. I'll have to get Ulmia and Ashantara and that lovely Mumor. And that's when it comes to the grand finale. Well, if I need something flashy, something that only two of me can do. So that's where my alter ego comes in. Why are you waiting? Scrape that villainous scum from Vanadil this minute. I want to see how this plays out. Stop being a fish in the water and become the fan club president you always knew you could be. So, you see? Trust time! What does the ritual require? Bonds of trust. Trust. Yes, I will trust. Yes, with trust I will have you under my bonds of camaraderie. Camaraderie. Yes, a sign of true weakness. Friendship. Friendship. Ah, yes. How much have I lost so far? This is ridiculous. We don't have a single one of those. Then there's only one thing to do. Me. T. Or. Meteor. Right on top of my head. A whispering voice floats to your ears from nowhere in particular. You are to trust, Shirikiki. You are to love, Shirikiki. Shirikiki is your friend. What's this infernal spell? Has something happened? Soldier to me. This Tarutari ruffian is at the bottom of it all. You want an alter ego that can use the ultimate magic, don't you? A final fantasy worthy of any adventurer. Ouch. She escaped. The talking rat was scurrying about your pockets while you lay prone, so I advise you to check your belongings. By Altana above, my eyes must be failing me. Suddenly there were two of them. I swear, right before she left. That's in the background there as well. So, we've learned unadjust. It's cool. We're gonna head to the Tavnesian safe hole again, because I'll probably need to go there if I'm potentially, if I'm gonna do some off-stream leveling or anything like that. Which means that we're gonna have to get the cutscene that's going to be from soloing in there out of the way first. First thing first though, let's have a look at my profile. Can I see my merit points anywhere? I'm assuming here. Oh, okay, cool. We've got 20,000 limit points of a required 10,000, or sorry, 2,000 limit points out of a required 10,000. And we can stockpile up to 30 points at once, it seems. So, I'll probably go ahead and do some a little bit of grinding there so we have some points to play around with next time and to unlock our next level up. But before that, let's go ahead and head to Tavnasia. Lafayette, where the hell have you been? Were you knocked out again? You gotta be kidding me. Everyone else is okay. Thought we're all goners for a second there, no? By the way, did you figure out what happened? Tenzon's sword saved our butts. He released all the power of the Phoenix, and it shielded us from Bahamut's mega flare. This should keep his dragoness quiet for a while. I guess this puts us at a, whatchamacallit, a deadlock. You know what, Lafayette? This living thing is a real drag sometimes, huh? If it means I get to save the world and everything, I'm not that afraid to die, you know? But it looks like that won't be happening. There's a way to save and deal without me kicking in the bucket. Nothing simple, but there is a way. There's always been someone in every age who never gave up. Always found a way. I mean, even living with Prometheus' curse, people have survived. That's why I want you to keep on fighting. Keep on living. I kinda like having you around. Enough of this sappy talk. It's time to get moving, Lafayette. Next stop, the celestial capital of Altair. There's another keeper of the apocalypse that needs a taste of knuckle sandwich a la Preach. Everyone's here in Tavnasia. Round them up and move them out in the port. Right. We are gonna do that, but we're gonna take a little break from this storyline for a while. Because we need to catch up on our Rhapsodies of Vanadil. Let's check our missions there to remind us that's where we left off there. Should be under add-ons, I believe. What lies beyond? The visions do not cease with Era's voice emanating from the orb. Head to Norg. Indeed. Also, welcome to Norg. Lion has someone she wants you to meet. She will be waiting for you at the room at the end of the hallway on the second floor of Norg. I'm not sure if this is going to be the same or not, but there's a chance that we may be swapping between those storylines for a little while. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. So we'll see which triggers first, but let's head over there and have a look. Let's see here. We're heading to... Where's the... Shimolo? Yeah, there we go. Heading to Norg. On point number 1 should do it. Yes, please. Right. So again, I think we're gonna get 2 different cutscenes for this here. One for the rest of the dialogue expansion, one for our rhapsodies. I'm not sure what is going to trigger first, but we'll have a look. This is a bit further than I was hoping to get to tonight, actually, so it's probably good to see where we are at here. So, let's have a look. We get the rhapsodies first here, it seems. You made it back. Ira has been pacing back and forth all day. Upon my return, I spent hours turning over the master's words in my mind, and something came to gnaw at me. I cannot shake the feeling it is related to what Lady Lion prophesied in Esha about the master's role in the coming battle against the darkness. Something about your orb needing to gain light. Correct. We must create a world in which the master is able to fight. And what about that bothers you? Think back upon your struggle with the Shadow Lord. When we first met, many years from now, the master mentioned something that happened that day. I felt the crystal resonate within. Please, try to think back. Warrior of the Crystal. One who will become known as the Warrior of Light. You will travel across land, sea and sky, bathed in the light and stopping darkness wherever it threatens the living. And you will continue to banish the doubt that resides within you. Such travels take their toll on lesser mortals, who retire to their homes and live out their lives in comfort. But although you may stop briefly to gather your wits, each time you do so, it is only to steel your resolve for the next struggle. You have the will to shelter the downtrodden, vex the darkness, and protect all that Altana holds dear. The time is right for you to become more than a mere warrior. You will become greater, for that is what is required of you. Has it come back to you, Master? You recall with reverence those words, saying they gave you the strength of spirit to carry on no matter the odds. Though your journeys were arduous and fraught with peril, the twinkle in your eyes as you recounted your tales gave me courage. The reason you were able to lead us to the final struggle was precisely because of those many barriers you had overcome. You taught me the world was worth fighting for, no matter how bleak the future. My father always spoke of you with adoration, believing that you were a man of indisputable valor. Banish your doubt, Master, so that you may become all you were meant to be. Now that you mention it, Iraha, who is this father of yours? Well... Boss, something terrible's happened. There's big trouble at Sea Serpent's Grotto. Boats are just turning and no one can leave. No boats are able to make it to Norg at all. There was this infernal ringing noise, and the boats are just spinning in place. You mean to say that all of this started happening at once? Wait, turning round and round, spinning in place. Obviously, they're both caused by the same thing. The bell. Does this mean something to you? Does this mean you know something? Seed? Lafayette? not sure. Just like in Esha. Exactly. I have the same thought. Uh-huh. So if you two has experienced the same thing, then there's no better to get to the bottom of it. We should head to the grotto. Lafayette, but it'll be quicker if we split up. I'll go on ahead while you prepare. Master, I insist on accompanying you. Alright, let's leave the Silart cutscene for when we are prepared to go through the Silart expansion then. And let's have a look at the next mission. The tides that by. Ill tidings abound. Something is causing sailors to leave their senses, with a strange ringing reminding you of what happened in Esha Sita. See what is happening in Sea Serpent's Grotto. Right. I don't think that is sure how we best get to Sea Serpent Grotto here. It's connected from Lord apparently, so maybe... Okay, so it's the area that we leave to the south here. Let's see what we're expected to do. Yeah, it's just cutscene, so we can probably get to that and finish that out. Let's have a map. Yeah. We're looking for a set of question marks near a lake. So let's go ahead and see if we can mount up here. No, we cannot. Let's go ahead and go across town because I'm not sure how strong enemies are here. Better safe than sorry, as it were. And let's have a look. Too weak to be worthwhile. All right. That's good. Then again, we know that sometimes enemies just jump up in level in certain areas without any warning, so it'd be good to have that understanding. We're way off the map here, actually. I'm not entirely sure. I best we get onto it. Not through there, apparently. Let's go ahead and cast flee. And run long. This looks like a door. How do we open it? It's by interacting. Okay. Casts are still too weak to be worthwhile. We're actually heading out to the right area here now. Let's see. Yeah, it's not here, so it's probably down south, but we need to take the long way around. So let's head north then, I guess. Then we'll see. North to the east. Always fun looking around at new areas like this here. Just wish I could move more quickly. Lake Sahagen. Yeah. Nice little ditty, thank you. Let's have a look this way. Hopefully that's the trick. Undead bats. Yeah, I'm assuming we need to head down to the south here. One of the boys water down there. Yeah, through the opening over here. Down to the left. And we'll see how things go here. Did the week we worthwhile? This might be it. Question mark. Looks like it. Let's see. A bell, indeed. Something's horribly wrong. Oh, hey. You're not Garuda. Then what? Beautiful humans. You cannot hear nature, though she aches for one to listen. I am left breathless, knowing my name has been forgotten. No, your vestige is known to me. The seductress, Siren. Ah, young daughter, have you come from a faraway age? One is mere happenstance, but I think two. Your words confound me. Do you mean to say that yet another has come from the future? I do. Not all are equal before Father Time, least of all one who can devour him. It no longer needs to wait for the future, and has sent its emissary to this time. Even now he stands tall, cackling at your backs. Literally. Apparently. Ah. Iroha. May this arrow strike true, fiend. Impossible. We cannot let it escape. So I believe that's everything for that mission. Actually, let's have a look. Impurity. The Great Siren is the cause of the recent disturbances plaguing Norg. She claims that Iroha was not the only one who came to the present time from the future. The masked man attacked Iroha, who faded into nothingness. Chase after him. Yes. So we're heading to J12. I'm assuming that's move to the right here. No, actually. Is this the same? We are in J12 right now. I guess we're looking at the same cutscene again. No, that's not wrong. Sorry. We're heading to F11 in Utonga Jungle. So let's go ahead and wait for that for a little while, and I'll go ahead and warp back home here. Jesus. There we go. Too many targets to choose from here. Right, we need to equip on actual ring here. There we go, warp ring. Another second, and then we're good to go. And that's where we'll end things here for tonight. I think, you know, we're at around 2 hours, and we've been effective enough that I won't need to do much editing, so I think it's probably best to stop before I change that here. So, yeah, we're done with chapter 6 of the Prometheus storyline. We're gonna be spending the next few episodes, more than likely here, catching up on our Rhapsodies storyline. And they tend to be pretty short so far, I think, so we'll see how long it'll take us, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. I think there's a lot of cutscenes that may hold quest chain line, so for now we're just gonna go ahead and wait a little bit. Again, I may take some time tomorrow or something like that here to do a little bit of grinding, see if we can get some merit points here to play around with. We need 3 to break our level limit, and we probably want a few beyond that to put into our actual different stats and things like that here. So for now, let's go ahead and end things here, and I'll be back with another stream on Wednesday. So I just want to say thank you all very much for following along. Again, I always appreciate it. I think that we're coming into March here, coming up. I was thinking that maybe I'll be able to finish up in March. I'm beginning to think that that may not be the case, but we'll see how things go. At the very latest, I think we'll be able to finish this up in April, and then we'll go on with a few of the single player games here again before we get to the last few games in the series. That said, for now, thank you all again very much, and I will see you next time when we continue on with our Rhapsodies of Vana'diel missions. Until then, take care, and thank you all again. Good night, everyone.